Hey, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. To all the beautiful people out here in YouTube land. So, as you can see on the screen, wanted to do a quick video. And it reads, Dear Black women, do you think that the politicians and the police are trying to tell you something? What do I mean by that? So, I used to say this, I was telling my friends, I said, and I grew up, we had family meetings, discuss vacation, where you gonna go. My dad would say, and if somebody got in trouble, so my dad would say, oh yeah, after dinner, we at the table at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock. And so I have a sister and a brother. And so it's like, oh, I didn't do anything. She didn't do anything. Uh-oh, somebody did something. And so it's too funny. Sometimes my dad would play this little game and he would say it and I would try to get it out of him. I'm like, well, hey, so what's it about? He's like, oh, you'll hear about it when we meet. Uh-huh. So I come back again. Is somebody in trouble? I didn't do anything. And he's like, why'd you ask? I said, I'm just asking because I didn't do anything. Is somebody in trouble? So he knew I was trying to like get to it, and I would try. And it's just too funny. Yeah, he would never say. It's like, when we have a family meeting, then you know. And he held his ground on that. So I I used to say, wow, I'm like, white people. To my friend, I said, those are the most meet behind folks I ever seen in my life. My ex-husband's mom. Oh, mama wants to meet about the trust. I said, white folks are always meeting. Hmm. You having more? How many family meetings do you need? Always having a darn meeting. What's up? They have more meetings than black families. Again, my experience. You might be a black family or couple that has a whole lot of meetings. Okay, so here's why I bring that up. A lot of things that happen, people are planning, people are doing, people are meeting. Love us to death. Love my peeps. A lot of times, and I know it's different when we have a different experience. But a lot of times we get to a point where it's so much going on and people are tired and sometimes maybe beaten down that they need that laughter. Gotta laugh and ha 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 and kiki. But sometimes we're doing, it's cool to kiki and all that, but we gotta be about business, gotta be about planning. So I've done all these stories about how these idiots are committing crimes, and it's to women in general. It's affecting different people, different nationalities. But I'm talking about to the peeps, to the black women. And in the BC, again, it was every 6 hours. Now it's every 5.5 hours because we just seem to have an overload of dust buckets in the community. And that's the reality. Decent black men are catching it. Oh, yeah, getting robbed. You know what I mean? You're sitting in front of your house waiting for a refrigerator that you just purchased because you just bought a house and want to fix it up and maybe lease it out, maybe flip it. That's how you keep the property value up. And then some old dumb Dustina done got her behind putting her in the seat of poverty D. He brings his ignorant, chocolate, dangerous, homicidal maniac butt around and shooting kills that black man. You dig? So yeah, so it's all around. But speaking to the black women, I thought about it, but knowing that we have a greater chance of being harmed in our community, as I said before, I'll say it again. If you are a black child or if you're a black woman, and you're trying to do something with your life, oh my gosh, the worst place, honey, sometimes for you to be, quite often, is in the black community. And that's why we have all this crime upon each other. So I thought about it. These dust buckets are committing these crimes against these women, and you're looking up like the feces fool. They're committing all these crimes, and they're letting them out. They're letting them out. You look up. I mean, we got to a point. We have in H Town. There are people who are arrested on a suspicion of murder, and there's some evidence. Look up. The fool done got out. Look up. Boop. Somebody's actually dead this time. Well, he was just let out on a suspicion of murder charge, getting low bail. So now we have issues where these diabolical homicidal dust buckets are committing these crimes. They're getting low bail. Hell, sometimes they don't even have to post bail. letting them out on the armed reconnaissance. Just let them out. No bail, let them out. And they go out and victimize again. And I thought about with all the marches, I had a conversation with a friend of mine, and he was saying, um, as a Caucasian male of high financial means, um, I remember him saying about I mentioned something about Black women and achievements and things going. He goes, "Well, yeah, you know, Black women in their community, they're doing. It's led by a matriarch. They're doing everything." He's like, "I don't agree with everything like the CRT." He's like, "But they're doing everything." He mentioned that about Black Lives Matter. He said what he found interesting, and I know it's about Marxism, but let's just talk about how it was phrased, BLM, after so many Black people, in particular, a high number of Black men were being shot and killed with their hands up. So he says, in particular, you had a lot of Black men that were being murdered and killed. And yet you have Black women along with Soros who ponies this up, who gets this going. Black Lives Matter. He's like, you would think that should have been something for the men to do. But the fact that Black women did that, he's like, you would think the men would take charge and do that. Well, we have a different kind of setup in the BC. Okay? Different. So then we have all the marches and we're about it, gonna make some change, and we want to march for bail reform, and it's too many Black men are locked up and it's too crowded, that it's incarcerating our people, but then we're forgetting that some of our people put themselves there. Oh yeah. So I thought about it back to the point when I said, hey, white folks are always meeting. It occurred to me, everything is by design. Oh, everything is by design, not by accident. Not at all. Someone was telling me about the HUD program. Oh my, they could have had another extension and they let that fall through. More people are going to be evicted. I had to research that. I wasn't aware of that. You think it was by design? By accident? No, it's all by design. So when you look at, we're marching here. Well, I'm not. You have all this about, oh, we got to do bail reform and prison reform and blah, blah, blah. How many have they let out only to commit more crimes? How many have they let out only turn around and commit more crimes? So what am I getting at? Black women are known to be the strong one here. We have to be. It made me think, and we are strong-willed. Heck, I've been told, wow, you're very strong-headed. You're, that's you. You betcha. So it made me think. You can't sit down and say, hey, Black women, look at these stats and all that. A lot of us don't want to hear it, and especially if it may be coming from someone of another nationality. So I'm starting to think that maybe letting these dust buckets out and then you see what they do. Well, don't forget, we were marching and fighting. Bail reform is too many up, and they're locking them up. And I just really thought the bail reform was for the protesters. That's what I thought. Not the one stealing, the protesters, not the one that's doing the, stealing and doing all that, turn up property. No, 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 no. Not that behavior. I thought it was just for protesters and maybe just light stuff. But now you're looking at it, I thought about it. Maybe the politicians, now the police, they do the arrest. So it's pretty much the judges. But the politicians are truly aware. I said, maybe they sat down and thought, okay, they want to fight for bail reform. Here you have it. And then that's their way of letting you know, here's what you're dealing with. Because some of us still have our head in the sand and don't want to face it. Maybe that's what they're doing, letting you know that might be the reason for the in and out. He's in jail, he's out, he's in jail, he's out, oh, committed another crime. He did a shooting, oh, now he's killed somebody. And I said, maybe it's by design. Maybe it's by design. Sometimes we have rose-colored glasses on. We have Black men in our family that aren't dusties, and we're just seeing, the ones that we know. And there are Black men that we know are dusties, but don't forget the Black woman. You got to be strong and protect Tyrone. Who protecting you? So I thought about it. Maybe it's all by design. Maybe they realize, okay, let's give them bail reform, and then they're going to see the effects of bail reform. You're going to see they're letting them out. And so many of them are still committing all these crimes. Maybe they should have been let in. But see, that's part of the things that BLM was pushing, bail reform. So now you got it, and look what we're getting. More death, more destruction. Some people are very cunning. Some people are a little slow. Some people are very good at planning. That's why I say it's good to kiki, but we can't spend all our time. Girl, man, you see that dude? That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. We need to talk about something else sometimes. And let's say if that is the case, it hit my mind. I want to know what you think. What if that is the case? They're setting them free so you can really see what a dusty do. Mm-hmm. You can see what a dusty do, and the bed lets you know, oh, been arrested 22 times, 24 times. Well, he had 12 prior arrests. So this might be their way of letting you know this is what you're dealing for. This is what you're marching for. I'm not the only one that mentioned it. I believe in Enlighten the Below mentioned something to that the same effect. So we're on this. Yeah, I believe he mentioned that. So just think about it. Is that possible? This is what you're getting. This is the way of showing you what you got. Now, let's say that is that. Dusties don't think we know they're dumb. You already saw Dusty Dan this morning. I thought that was my wife, and it was I thought it was someone breaking in. I thought my wife was in bed. Yeah, right. Sure. Mm-hmm. Dusties don't think. So let's say that is the case, and the politicians want you to see Black women. This is what you're fighting for. This is what you're voting for. Black women. This is what you want. Oh, it's about to get real bad. The gas prices. It's about to get real bad. The peeps voting for Biden. And I know most of us are Democrat, and that's fine. It's about to get bad for us, though. Just letting you know. Especially at the bottom where the most help is needed for our working class people. It is about to get hella hard. So let's stop and think. Let's just say if this was all by design, letting these dusties out so they can commit more crimes. Okay? So Black women, they might be letting you know, hey, check it out. See that? See that? You wanted bear reform, here, you got it. There's a part two to it, the conversation. If that's the case, why would they do that? Here's part two. They're letting you know what you're dealing with. I think it's possible when part two comes. And part two comes when they're really tired of your damn foolishness and they getting ready to come for you. That roundup is coming. So when that round, I'm telling you, these suspects are committing all these crimes in the BC against women and children, and the women are the main ones that's out there fighting, fussing for them and marching. Girl, by I think it's by design. And a good reason to have that by design. So when let's tell you again, you can call it a conspiracy theorist. Heck, that's fine with me. But let's just say, again, they're always planning. I hate to tell you, you don't stay on top by having a lackadaisical attitude, always sleeping your ass all day long. You don't stay on top like that. You got to be up and on it. You got to think ahead of time. Had a friend of mine today. We're talking about all this stuff that's going on. Oh, I'm just concerned about you. I'm fine. Okay. Talking about, it's going to really get crazy around here. So let's think about it. Let's just say they planned that. They want Black women to see what you're dealing with. They want you to see what kind of man you're sitting up. I want to defend my man. Maybe they want you to see that for a reason. And you know why I think they want you to see it for a reason. So when they bring that hammer down on these dangerous, deadly dust buckets, guess what? You're going to already have so much experience and have so many visualizations of dead women and children and bad memories, you're going to stand yourself down. Think about it. You think they're going to let these Dutch just keep on doing this, keep on acting the fool? No. The powers that be have been running the show for so long. You wonder why they were, I remember black people hollering, oh, they have to build these prison systems, more of these prisons, more of these schools. I hate to tell you, and I love you dearly, but damn, they see the trajectory, do you? They see where it's headed. I'm late to the point of my darn self until I'm looking on YouTube. They putting money in these prisons when not in school. They see the trajectory of the group. They see the trajectory of you, the dust buckets. They see it. And they see them having more children. Look at all the crimes. There already a black woman today murdered in Baltimore. They've arrested a 21-year-old, a 14, and a 16-year-old. Gee, you think? So years ago, they were putting more money into the prison system study school. Well, the kids don't want to listen, and they don't give a damn anyway. In most cases, I hate to tell you, so many dusty parents, they don't give a darn either. So you want somebody to invest in you. That's like I've heard some people, I'm like, you must think I'm kind of stupid. You sitting up here, you want to talk about investment, you don't have any money. You think I'm finna set up a portfolio for your grown behind? You finna use my money? You have to be really stupid. But see, that's how a lot of Negroes think. They think because you know how to read, but beyond a cat in the hat book, you must be slow. I'm street smart. Lose that little piece of job next week, you're going to be looking half crazy. No offense, I won't. I can lose it for the next year or two and won't be looking crazy. I'm a planner. I'm a thinker. And I don't brag. I'm just letting you know. But Negroes think, oh, she must be crazy. She's stupid. I will try to play her. Try it again and see. Try it. You're going to leave embarrassed again. Our people don't think. They're not thinking enough. We don't want to be bothered. Did my little job. And then when stuff happens, looking all crazy, never prepared. For what's coming, we're not prepared. We're just not, collectively speaking. So yeah, this right here, it could be a greater plan. And a Dusty, this is beyond the comprehension. So she crazy. Okay, we're gonna see. I could be wrong, but don't be surprised. Maybe it's by design. Maybe it's by design. When you see enough women that look like you end up dead by these dust buckets, and we have to face it. It is what it is. The 5.5, do white men kill Hispanic men, Asian? Hell yeah, they all do. But guess what? Let's be real. Cut the bull crap. They're not killing no women every 5.5 hours. It ain't happening. It's just not. So stop and think. This could be by design, just letting them out so they can show you. They showing you what a Dusty will do. The thing is, what if there's a round two, and the round two is going to be when they've already showed you, they then decide to take that massive action. And if they start hauling them off to a farm and have them in a cage, back in the day, they will have committed so many crimes, even the teenagers. That might be a way to get the black women to stand down. Dusties don't think, they just do. Hate to tell you. Collectively speaking, that other guy is a hell of a lot smarter than you. That's why it's important to try to have something to control you, start to think differently. So think about it. My opinion. Maybe they're letting them off like this here. They're going to show you what a Dusty will do. They want to make sure you can see for yourself. Oh, and the Dusties never fail to disappoint. Never. Dusty duty, they never go on vacation. So maybe they're doing this on purpose, letting them out to society so you can see what you're fighting for. No one's fighting for you. The same one you fighting for, to tell you, those are the ones that's killing you. Truth hurts. So yeah, like I said, maybe they're trying to tell you something. But it's going to really be something if there's a round two. These dust buckets commit all these crimes. They will have killed so many black women and children and men. Like, guess what? This might be a way for the black women to see a very expensive lesson, by the way, because we're people are visual. I'm a very visual person myself, but it's a good way for you to see about the mammies and the dusties. So yeah, so when it goes down, they might be thinking, oh, they doing this to these minted, to these dust buckets. So what it dusty? That's his right to be dusty. You leave him alone. Man, they start collecting that dust, wiping that dust out. Don't be surprised. This may be a way for them not to have any support. So the au revoir. So when things start happening, you're gonna see it as such a danger, something that needs to be to get rid of out of society, that everyone will go along with it. These dust buckets, they're committing crimes against themselves. They're so stupid and don't see it. So yeah, tell me what you think about it. All this, letting them out on parole could be by design. So they're gonna do what they're gonna do is commit more crimes. But black women, this could be a precursor to round two, letting you know to open up your eyes. Most of these dust buckets, they are no good for you. They're just not. So when the roundup comes and daddy get tired, he might have a plan. It's time to pick a side to know where you stand. And honey, beside a dust bucket, it's not it. They are killing us every day in Blackistan. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and share. I look forward to your thoughts. Let's have the conversation, okay? I know I said, dear black women, dear black men, anybody who listening now, Dusty, you want to put your little 2 cents in, we're going to entertain you too. But let's have a conversation. These are things that our people don't think about. And then when it happens, we're like, I can't believe they did that. I'm out.